Devin is joining me right now. Again, these guys, they look so young, but they're actually older than they look.
I'm 30 now.
You're 30?
Yeah.
Well, it's about time.
I know.
I'm twice your age. How about that? But you know what's great? I love it because you told me one time, you said, Mary Beth, we grew up with these flowers.
Yeah.
Like from the time you were 3, 4 years old, you were already learning about flowers, and which is one of the reasons why you're such an expert and you can write all of those growing guides, etc. This is something really interesting. It's the Super Star Coreopsis, and you get 3 of these plants for $23.91. You were telling me long bloom time because this is kind of a new version, right?
This is a brand new selection of Coreopsis, and Coreopsis, many of us are familiar with it because it is a native to North American plant. And what I love about Coreopsis is this is a plant that will thrive in the worst conditions. Hot, intense summer sun, no problem. Droughts for long periods of time, no problem. Really cold winters, no problem. But many of the other Coreopsis in the past, they get a little bit leggy, the flowers are just kind of boring. Well, with this Coreopsis, you have some of the largest flowers that are up to 3 inches across in multicolors, and these bloom for months and months and months every single summer. Look at that beautiful color.
You were saying to me that these can actually be used like a ground cover or to fill in gaps and spaces.
Absolutely, because they produce plants that are so thick and so dense with growth that they stifle any opportunity for weeds to grow in your garden.
Right. And now, do these need hot sun or shady?
These love to be grown in the hot sun. So if you have really bad soil conditions, many of us are, we move into a new home and we're endowed with poor soil, whether that's rocky soil, sandy soil, clay soil. And many of times we're like, okay, maybe if I just go get a bunch of bags of soil, add it to my garden, I can make my soil good again and new plants will grow. Well, typically that just doesn't really work out so well. What's better is plants that actually do well in those bad soil conditions. So you want to plant these in those bad areas.
Wow, that is so smart.
It's a problem solver.
Well, it is a problem solver. And look at this now. Is this going to be one plant?
This is one of your third plant. Yes, one of your 3 plants fully established. And look at how many flowers there are, how many buds there are. That is what we love about them. They are just smothered with beautiful blossoms from around midsummer all the way till the first frost.
And how tall will they get and about how wide?
So each of these plants, they grow about, I would say about 18 inches tall and about 18 inches wide. So imagine lining your walkways, planting these at the front of your flower beds or your borders, in your rocky areas, or if you have a container garden like I do, this is a great candidate for containers because it packs such a good superstar punch all summer long.
You can, I call this curb appeal because you can see it from the street. Kind of thing. The other thing I want to let you know is more than 2,000 sets have already been ordered since we brought these in. And once again, I can tell you right now by looking at the numbers, there aren't that many of these to go around. So if you want these, and you're going to get 3 plants.
Yes, you get 3 plants.
What does it look like when it comes?
This is what you'll be receiving in the mail. And just to kind of echo what you were saying, this plant was just created and just introduced into the plant world last year. So for us, we could barely get our hands on any of them. So if you're lucky enough to be watching right now, I suggest order a few of these collections, plant these in all of those bad soil areas around your garden, and you will be graced with beautiful flowers, many times right out of the box, and they'll continue to flower month after month after month. No deadheading needed, very low maintenance, planted in the full sun, where the hose doesn't reach, no problem.
That's what I was just going to ask is, does it need, I know it loves hot sun, does it need a ton of water? Because a lot of times that's where you plant plants and then they just kind of die off and you're like ticked about it.
No.
This one, put it where you don't have much water and it's hot sun and you don't have good soil. They're like, we'll show you. We can
That's right. That's what we love about plants like this that are native to North America because they are just naturally going to do well in our climates. But look at how gorgeous that is in a container. It's just kind of like overflowing with its beautiful, beautiful flowers. In the flower
mixes
bed,
color like this one does,
it.
that just absolutely is like artwork.
Yes, it has kind of like this cherry pie center, surrounded by that sunny yellow. And that color combination, you know, if you look at a color wheel, you know that the reds and the yellows, they complement each other and they bring each other out. So when you see just kind of a mass planting like that, your whole state of mind just transformed by that wonderful just sea of color.
That's amazing. Now remember, you're getting 3 plants and they're gonna get to be about 18 inches tall, 18 inches wide. So depending upon, and I mean, it's like almost like ground cover in many ways. And I see you put them with your roses.
I did.
The Atlas roses.
The Atlas rose and the Coreopsis Superstar is a superstar combination.
It is?
Because they both love to be grown in that hot, full sun.
Yeah.
And the Coreopsis is a little bit shorter than the rose. So plant the Coreopsis with the rose behind it and you'll have this symphony of colors and blooms from around mid-June all the way to the first frost. They are a delightful combination.
And remember, they grow in bad soil and they don't need tons of water.
Yes.
Let me give you a quick update on this one. What were you gonna say, Scott? Okay, yeah, we'll tell you about the roses. I just wanted to make sure you know more than 2,000 sets of those are already gone. So if you want the Coreopsis